After everything we've seen, there isn't much that rattles either of us anymore. But this one still haunts me.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
I'll have none of that.
They get up too much static electricity and it zaps them out of existence.
Stop it, white people.
Yeah, Jarvis is the good angel. Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheapseat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
The greater good.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice and creepy. Now, say that while you have a glass of water in your mouth. Yeah.
Okay. I don't have water. Sorry.
I was.
Wait. No. All of you just need to turn around, and then I'll do it.
Oh, you mean just turn around? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm turning around.
I don't think anything's going to happen unless you turn around.
I've turned around. Oh, it's weird. For some reason, you sound like you're underwater. I'm not sure why. All right. This is episode 368, and tonight we're talking about The Conjuring 2. The Conjuring 2.
Yes.
Usually
the second one.
The second one, yeah. Conjuring Harder or something. Like, I don't know. Conjuring 2 came out in 2016. Directed by the same guy who did the first one. And
gosh, has it been that long? This feels like it was just out.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like, but now there's like 8 of these things, right?
Well, the third Conjuring just came out.
I think there's a third one.
Yeah, the third Conjuring.
Isn't there spin-offs?
Yeah, there's like 2 Nun movies, and there's like 3 Annabelle movies, and
oh my gosh.
Yeah, this has spawned a franchise. This is So I'm Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is Andrew. Goes swimming in his indoor basement pool often. Jimison.
Hey. What's up, guys?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Andrew. Nice to see you, bud.
It's nice to be seen.
Yeah.
I know it's a crazy busy season for you, so.
Or in our listeners' case, it's nice to be heard.
It is nice to be heard.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It's nice that we can continue to do this thing because no one has told us to stop yet.
Not yet. Or we at least haven't listened to anybody that has told us to stop.
Well, I mean, so far, again, really no one has actually told us to stop. Now, if people
people need to listen in order to do that?
Well, that's the thing. If people eventually just all stop listening altogether, I guess then no one would know that we're still recording. So I guess there's that. And Sam,
what?
The Crooked Man reminds me of the Babadook vector.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And Sean, I just want to show you to this window over here. I need you to look out the window and never mind when I stand behind you to push you out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There may or may not be a tree down there.
Sure.
That has been shaved.
A very pointy tree.
Pointy tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And making her cheap seat reviews return, we didn't scare her off, which is great news, is V. I would have thrown out that chair a long time ago from Life Paranormal with V.
Hey, guys.
Hey, welcome.
It's so awesome having you back. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yay. Thank you.
And what a perfect movie to have you back on to talk about.
I know. I love it. I love this movie.
Yeah, that was kind of when we were in contract negotiations with her podcast and her people and my people, our agents. I said, we'll have you come on for something in September, but we gotta have you come back on in October for a legit scary movie. And and boy, did you pick a movie to scare us! My God, this one. I'm not gonna lie, this one got me a little bit. The first one got me too. So I have.
I think. Well, we'll talk about comparisons, but this creeps you out. This really does. This one, and it feels like this one certainly just is 100 miles an hour from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The first one, this one definitely starts off really strong with the Amityville stuff, and I mean, that stuff's rough to watch. And then we have to get into the family of the haunting, and then go from there. So we'll get there all in due time. So before you do that, pull up a nice, comfy haunted chair, and let's dive into this one, man.
But not that chair.
Well, not that chair. I'm trying to think. Sam, you hadn't seen the movie yet when you made the logo, had you?
I had started the first part of it. I did that. Remember when I texted and said, I'm going to stop this and watch it at home?
Yeah.
I had started it in the office, so I had gotten to the point where, they identified the chair or whatever.
Okay,
and
yeah, I
was like,
see.
Oh, this is perfect. This is right up our alley.
Yeah, I see that you did in the GIF there. It does. The chair is kind of part of it there, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right. So I know the answer for Andrew and Sam and myself is this was the first time the three of us had seen this. V, how many times have you seen this before? Because I know this was not your first viewing.
No, I've probably seen it over like 20 times now.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
20?
Yes. It's like a
Oh my
comfort. I put it on in the background while I'm cooking or doing homework. I'm telling you.
Wow.
So the screaming doesn't bother.
No.
Adds to the ambiance.
That would just stress me out so much. Oh my gosh.
But honestly though, after about the fifth or sixth viewing, you kind of know what's happening or know what's going on.
Exactly.
So you kind of, it takes away from the stress.
I never really thought about it because I'm kind of a weenie and only watch horror movies like once. But do they have the same effect watching them multiple times?
I still, I've seen the Poltergeist like, oh my God, hundreds of times since, that's my favorite scary movie. And I still get, that suspenseful feeling in certain parts, just because like it triggers a memory of how I felt, when I was a kid watching it. So I think there's some elements to it that, trigger you. And for the most part, I think I was telling Sean earlier, sometimes I just laugh in some parts, so yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that more evidence that we are all different people.
Yeah.
But I mean, like our reaction to you saying that you've seen this movie 20 times is the same reaction I get from people when I say that I've seen Star Trek, 30 times, and they're like, "Why? You know what's going to happen." I'm like, "I know, but it's comfort. It's it's a Anyway, or when Sam gets mad at me for when I watch West Wing for the fourth time instead of watching something he wants me to watch,
or something new.
Yeah,
something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like that too with Game of Thrones and the X-Files and Twin Peaks. So I'm like that the same way.
Yeah.
I'll rewatch it.
There is just something comforting. It's like a warm blanket because you know what's going to happen and you know that it makes you feel good. And I'm in my first full rewatch of the TV show Psych right now. I'm in season 8, and I have just loved every minute of it. And I know that there's other shows that people, not just Sam, but other people have said, "Oh, have you seen?" Like I haven't watched Squid Game yet because I can't put down Psych. I just can't. So, but
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I have, but I'm almost done with Psych, and then I'll watch Squid Game, and then that way Sam and I can at least talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so time for some 5-word reviews, and I trust that we all have them because I think I asked beforehand. Sam, this is where you start.
Hey, Sean, do you want to know what this movie's about?
Sure,
I would.
Andrew.
I would love to know.
Since you obviously did the thing that you always do, but please. I got a feeling this is going to be a night where I forget you at least 3 times. All right, so that's one.
Oh, poor Andrew.
Fine. I need a neon light around my head or something. Ed and Lorraine Warren travel to North London to help a single mother raising 4 children alone in a house plagued by a supernatural spirit.
Okay, so basically
There
the
you go.
first one,
Right.
except the London part.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Okay, now time for 5-word review. Sam?
All right. Okay. I've got two tonight. And they're gonna, now that I'm reading them, they're gonna sound a lot more negative than I feel about this movie. But I've got one of them is twice the creepy, half the intensity. And then the other one is a shadow of the first one. And I honestly think that this suffers a little bit of the sequelitis with movies, where the first one is such a perfect scary movie in terms of ratcheting up the tension and just bringing it in terms of the stress and scares in it to where, towards the end it's just a complete stress fest. This one, on the other hand, I think it's like, I hate to compare it, it's like The Lost World compared to Jurassic Park, where they were like, let's add more dinosaurs. Let's do more stuff. Let's be scarier. Let's add more haunting, items to this. And I think it detracts a little bit, only because it's. I guess I was expecting a little bit more of the intensity, and the thriller that was the first one. Did I like the movie? Yes, I really did. So please don't think I'm trying to be negative about this thing or poo-poo it, because it's still an amazing movie. And I love the fact that Juan can direct this movie and make this movie without it being a complete rated R curse fest. And it's something I could recommend to people like my parents to watch for a good scary movie. So these types of things, they creep me out. I told Sean earlier today on the phone, I went to bed last night and I happened to notice right before kind of closing my eyes, falling asleep, that I had left the closet door open, and it was that darkness of the back of the closet. And I was like, oh crap. No, I'm not going to be able to sleep while that stupid thing is open. So the combination of, is it true? Is it not? Based on a true story, and especially dealing with, exorcisms, demons, and spirituality like that is kind of my scary cup of tea. I get more scared at something like this than I do in something like Halloween or Friday the 13th or something like that. This is the type of movie that really gets under my skin. So I liked it. I don't think it's a masterpiece, but I also think it's a great movie for this month.
All right. Yeah. I don't personally disagree with anything. And I'm glad you said the one thing that you said, Sam, about you've kind of found that this is the thing that scares you. And I had that realization while watching it too. It's like, yeah, the Halloween movies don't scare me at all. Dude slasher movie kind of thing, because it feels, I guess, real-ish. And like, okay, it's just a dude and he's disturbed and broken and whatever, but like, he's killing people and that sucks, but all right. But whereas like this, it's like, there's so much you just can't explain. And that to me is the scarier part, is because it's so unpredictable and you never know when the jump scares are going to come. And like this movie gets my blood pressure and my anxiety going way more, or these types of movies way more than anything else. I mean,
I was literally clutching the remote in the scene in the kitchen where the knives are out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And her brother goes in and she's in there with him. I was like, someone's going to die.
Yeah.
Like, is this story turned deadly at some point? I don't know the stories, which is great, but I could have easily gone that direction with that, because it's just, I'm surprised it wasn't as harmful to the kids. Obviously, there was bite marks and things like that, but holy cow, was this whatever this entity was or whatever was out to get him for sure.
Yeah,
and I'm glad we got V on tonight, because this is something that I'd love to hear, because it's Life Paranormal. I believe you cover this kind of stuff, right, V?
Yeah, I certainly do.
So, I'd love to hear, just, I don't know, not stories, but just this type of thing. You haven't experienced this type of thing, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, no, I was talking to Sean. I've, to a certain extent, nothing like possession, thankfully. Yeah, I've experienced a lot of really dark horrible stuff. Not everything that I've experienced has been dark, for the most
Yeah.
part, but yeah, it's been really scary. Mostly, when I was in high school and in elementary school too. So that was really hard because it's pretty traumatic as as an adolescent, let alone a child, But yeah, it's you were just talking about, the damage it does to the kids in the movies. It's just, them crying and screaming. I'm like, oh my God, I felt that terror before. So it's really scary. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, and Ouija boards are no joke. I remember in high school messing around with one, and it spelled out my father's initials when we asked, who it was, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, we're done. This is it. This is not. Yeah. We're not playing with this thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't mess with them either. I stay away from them.
I was going to ask. That was in my notes.
Really?
Yeah, my second note was going to be asking the question: has anyone here used a Ouija board?
Yeah. Yep. And we'd asked it, who was listening or who was out there watching or something, and it spelled out, EHV, which was last thing on my mind, but it knew exactly what to put there to scare the crap out of me to stop. So we're like, no, and obviously I would have never thought of that. My friends had no clue what his initials were, so it wasn't, you're moving the thing around. So yeah, it's no joke. I would not mess with one for sure. And it seems like more of these scary movies these types of movies start with something like that, right? When they're trying to do something like that, and it somehow something crosses over into a kid. So no, thank you.
Idiots.
Have you done anything like that, Andrew? Just curious.
I've never used a Ouija board, no. But I don't know. Like, I've never experienced anything, knock on wood, that has made me, kind of freak out. Other than just being a kid and like out in the woods when I was little and it was dark and just having a weird feeling. But and then like bolting back to the house.
Sure. As you do.
I mean, you sacrificed your virgins out there in the woods, but nothing big.
I've been to that lot. It's creepy. So when I was 10 or so, and one of my best friends, he had one. He was like, "Hey, come on over. We're gonna check this thing out." I'm like, "All right." And so it's just the two of us, kind of like in the movie. Only ours was one that you'd buy at a store, not something she made. And his name was Dustin, and he said to prove that I'm not moving it, he would drum his fingers on it as opposed to holding them down. So he would drum his fingers as to kind of show that you can't move a thing while you're drumming it. It was the idea. And I did the same thing. We would kind of drum our fingers, and we asked it a couple questions, and it kind of moved to a yes and no. And I think the moment where we both got freaked out enough is Dustin, for whatever reason, asked the question, when will I die? And when it started moving towards a number, like we smacked the thing away, and we're like, no. Like, even at that age, it's like, stop. So he put it away and never messed with it again. But
oh my God.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So Andrew,
what a horrible question to ask when you're a kid. Like, when will I die?
Yeah, he was horrible. Yeah, he was. If I was 10, he was 11. And it's just like,
why not like who will win the Super Bowl? Or, you got to do something that's going to, bring some light to the situation.
It's funny you say that, Sam. I wasn't into football at that age, but I was into college basketball, and I did ask who was going to win the championship, and the thing just went off the board. It just went straight off the board. And I'm like, what does that mean? He goes, I guess it means it doesn't know what like, it doesn't know what that means. But it literally just went straight off the thing. That was interesting. But we did kind of go there. That was like one of the first dumb things we asked was like, like I think at some point, because at that age, like Dustin was starting to like girls. I think he asked if he was going to get a girlfriend, and eventually went over to yes or something. So, but Andrew, you never got to experience Dave the Ghost at a app?
No.
Oh,
no.
that's right. I forgot Dave's a ghost.
No, and I
Ghost,
grew up.
right?
I grew up near this lake called Lake Tahoma, and there's supposedly a ghost. If you drive your vehicle out to this dam, there's a ghost that will present herself sometimes if you shine your lights of your car across the dam, because there's actually a road that goes across the dam, and I never did that, but some of my friends did. And that's about as close as I got to
Nice.
anything like that.
That's cool.
Nice.
All right. Well, I didn't necessarily want to turn this into tell your favorite ghost stories on the podcast, but
Yeah.
Well,
it's
it
Halloween.
lends itself. It lends itself.
It does.
to that, right? You know.
Yeah.
oh yeah, and I can very vividly speak to Andrew's that feeling Andrew was talking about earlier. When I worked at Carowinds, and you're in the theater by yourself and you have to shut everything down, you have to walk through the house of the theater in the dark. There is no master light switch for the house in backstage. We had a stage light, but that didn't really, it only illuminated the stage, not the house. So there's about 100 feet of pitch black you're walking through. And I guarantee you, and I was a full-ass grown adult. There were multiple times where I ran through that house. I wasn't walking. It's just, there's something a little unnerving about, there are corners in that room that you can't see at all. Like there are, light dies there. It's very weird. So
It's the nothing from Neverending Story.
no kidding. Like it lives in that theater. It's crazy. I think one of our listeners, he either still works there, I think. Mike, if you're listening, I'd love for you to message me or something because, and help me confirm what I'm saying, because I'm telling you that there's weirdness in that building. So, all right. Andrew, your 5-word review, please.
I have a couple tonight, and several of them are actually 5 words.
Several of them.
First one, get rid of the damn chair. That's 6 words, I know.
Seriously though, I mean, if there was one thing in this movie that I scoffed at, I'm like, why in the heck do they still have that chair in this house?
Yeah,
Get rid of that chair. Put a plant over there in the corner. Put a little lamp, a happy little lamp or something. I mean, just do anything but have the old creepy haunted chair.
So I follow this guy on TikTok. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's this black guy that usually just makes fun of stupid things that white people do.
Oh, yeah. He does the face, right? He just kind of goes...
No, not that guy.
Oh, not that guy?
This guy says, stop it, white people.
Oh, nice.
Just stop it. And every time I watch a horror movie, I think that in the back of my head. I'm like, just stop. Like, why? If you see the chair rocking on its own, I'm taking that and throwing it out on the lawn, lighting it on fire. I'm not going to let it stay in my house. I'm not even going to sell it to anyone else. It's done. I'm done with it. Mm-hmm. Right? The second that I get, or my child gets bite marks, we're moving. Sorry, we're not going to go back into that house. So, okay. So stop it, white people. Now, second 5-word review. Kids make everything more scary.
These
make
kid
everything
actors did
creepy.
really well too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I think they did it. Yeah.
But anytime that you, and especially to a parent, right? If you're a parent of children and you are watching a movie and it has to do with supernatural anything, and a child is involved, it tugs on some strings that it doesn't tug on others, I don't think. Right? Unless you have a kid that you're really close to, as an aunt or a whatever. So kids make everything scarier, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have none of that.
Nice.
Nice.
Innuendo. Got it.
And that just that is a play on the nun there. But again, if I see the entity of a nun, I'm done. Right? I'm not sticking around.
The painting, for God's sake.
Even
Get
the
that out of my house. Get
No.
that out of my house. That is. I mean, I guess they're used to creepy things. You know, they are basically Ghostbusters, but get it out of my house.
Why would you want a reminder of something like that
Well,
hanging around you, though?
Yeah, boy, that was weird when you said that. The internet kind of garbled a little bit, and you went demon voice for just a second. That was great.
It has started.
Yeah.
We got Bill. Bill's coming into.
I'm not the only one that heard that, right? Like,
I heard a little bit of it. Yeah.
I heard a yeah.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
But I know that the painting was kind of cathartic for him, right? Like he had this vision and he felt like he had to get it on canvas so he could kind of get it out of his brain. And I get that part, but don't flip and hang it up. Good Lord.
Don't put it in your art museum.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Or at least put it down in the ghost room, right? Or in the
let Annabelle stare at it.
The little trinket room,
trophy room
from hell that they've got. Again, why do they have that in the house? I'd at least put it in the shed in the back. Open up the Annabelle doll case and you're in trouble.
Well, and the crazy thing is that the daughter saw the nun first.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! When she just goes, "Mom, who's that?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose it."
Yeah. Well, and my crazy thing, the point that I thought of later is this is all even before they go to England.
Yeah.
So how does that work? You know, was this?
Yeah, because demons are known to like predict the future, so they know.
Okay.
So it kind of like knew that they were going to be there anyways. So.
Goodness gracious. Huh. So they're like, I'm going to go, get these folks.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So my last 5 word, which is not 5 words at all, it freaked me out in all the right ways.
Okay.
Nice.
Like, all right, so I don't mind a horror movie. I'm not a chicken as far as like never wanting to watch them. It's not something that I'm like, got a horror movie, let's go watch it. I'll watch it if other people want to watch it. Does that make sense? Like,
yes.
if there are people that want to go see one, I'll go with them. But I'm not one to actively seek one out. But every time that I've seen one, I've enjoyed the movie. Like, I don't think that there's any that I've actually hated, except for Halloween H2O. That one was kind of bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? I Know What You Did Last Summer. I went to see that one as a middle schooler. That was kind of dumb. But this movie, I really liked it. I thought it was well acted from everyone involved. I thought that the storyline was good. It like I said, it freaked me out in all the right ways. Like, it found the little things that kind of would freak me out, like the little fire truck going into the tent and then pulling back out.
How many of us as parents have had that happen, where a random toy goes off in the night, right?
Yeah,
and like and it's always when the batteries are dying or something, but it just goes off in the night and it's freaky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with motion sensor things.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't allow those in my house anymore.
The things that get me in the house, it's always my cat. It's always the cat.
Yeah.
Because she'll jump on the counter in the kitchen and then knock like a fork off a plate. And and like it's because it's such a loud noise in the quiet of the house. Like I bolt up and it's like, what the F was that? But then when I realized that the cat's not on the bed, then I'm like, oh, then it's the cat.
I made the mistake of leaving my piano keyboard open. The cover of the piano open one time. And the cat food actually sits on top of the piano, on the back of the piano. And at the middle of the night, I just hear these dissonant chords, and I'm like, oh God. Freak me out.
The ghost is playing its own theme music.
Yeah. But, the only thing that really bothered me in this movie is that Crooked Man. The CGI, I felt like with the Crooked Man was poorly done. And I don't know how else we could have done that in this film to make it better, but it looked too Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas. Like it looked very much almost claymation.
Almost like they should have kept it a little bit more in the dark in terms of what was there.
Yeah.
In my opinion, yeah.
It's the only thing that kind of took me out because it didn't feel real in the slightest to me. And maybe it was supposed to be a little cartoony because it was coming from that kid's toy, but for me it was a little over the top, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing, like, as I'm hearing you say that and agreeing with you, and then thinking maybe, because remember the Crooked Man was the idea of the demon Valak, who is using the old man McGillicuddy as her pawn. So it made me wonder if the nun demon just doesn't have a very good imagination. And maybe, I don't know, but you're not wrong. Once it started, like, the part of the movie where I actually rolled my eyes was when the dog is trying to be let out. And as soon as you hear that, you're like, oh, is it? Like, I thought it was going to be that there was no dog there at all. Like, the bell was just ringing. But then you see the dog, and the kid goes up to open the door, but then the dog CGI turns into Crooked Man. And that looks so janky and weird.
Yeah.
It took me out of the moment, out of the scary moment, because I'm like, well, this isn't real. Like, I know it's not real. Like, I know none of it's real, but now I really know this isn't real. And then for the next hour, in the back of my mind, I kept thinking, what happened to the dog? Like was that dog?
The dog is no more. They
show the dog at the very end of the movie where it shows the kid petting the dog. So the movie
dog, only Zool.
Right. I mean, at least the dog's not our hopping man for the movie. But like,
have the dog talk to him. Hey, how you doing?
But like, I don't know. That was the weak part for me. So anyway, anything else you had there, Andrew?
No, not really. I just, I appreciate watching movies like this. I don't want to watch them all the time, but I do appreciate it. And I think it was, other than that moment, or those few moments with the Crooked Man, I really enjoyed it.
Did you watch in a dark room?
Here's what happened. I started watching it because I got home from school, and I think I had rehearsal after school, so it was like 6 o'clock. So I thought, I got to get this started now, and then I didn't realize that it was a longer movie, which it is kind of long. Mm-hmm. And then it was dark by the time it was over, and as you know, I'm in an apartment by myself temporarily. And there's a bathroom door, and all the doors in this place are painted black, by the way.
Black?
And so,
really?
Yeah, like pitch black.
They used to be red, creepy. But somebody saw them, and so they painted them black?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
And so at night, if you don't shut the bathroom door all the way, like if you don't latch it, the air conditioner or the heat comes on, and the door will slowly open on its own.
Oh my God!
Nice.
And what's worse is it's not like the hinges aren't oiled, so it creaks.
Nice.
And that happened after I watched this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I knew what it was. In the back of my mind, I was like, "Oh, that damn chair."
Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Valak is paying you a visit there.
Yeah.
Well, I will admit too. So this has happened on the podcast. Like, there's been a couple times when we watched a scary movie, right? Like, it happened not that long ago. We're talking about a scary movie, and I didn't realize that the cat was on the table behind me. And then I see movement in my camera, and I turn around, and there's the cat jumping off the thing, and it startled me. So I too was able to. I watched this in the office. Normally I watch this downstairs, but my wife wanted zero to do with this movie. I said, she says, "What's the movie this week?" The Conjuring 2. You're watching that in the office. Yes, ma'am. So I have in the office, I have a 42-inch TV here that I can that's connected to my computer. But so I put the movie on that. I turned all the lights off in the office, except I do have a little desk lamp because I need to see to take notes. So it can't be totally pitch black. So I have a little bit of light, but I still think that the setting is right. And I'm wearing my nice headphones, my nice real good quality sound headphones. So when there's a noise in the house, I can't tell if it's the movie or here. And so I'm watching the movie and I kept hearing this thump thump, thump thump, thump thump. And I'm like, what the hell am I listening to? And it was the scary part. And then the moment happened where I almost jumped out of the chair and peed myself. And it was because my dog had come up the steps. And she's old. She's a 13-year-old beagle. So the thump thump was her taking, a step at a time. And she came in. The door was open. She didn't bump the door. So I had no inclination that she had come in. And she just gave me a little nose in the back of the calf with a little wet nose just to say, hey, Daddy, I'm here. And I about peed myself. So
nice.
And it wasn't like it was even a super scary moment in the movie. Like, honestly, I could have been watching Bad Boys 2, and if she would have done that, I probably still would have been jolted. Just because when you get this wet sensation on the back of your leg when you think you're in a room by yourself. So, all right. V, what 5-word review have you brought in? Broughton's not a word.
So the first one is Ed and Lorraine kick ass. Obviously, I'm gonna say kick ass in this movie. So and then the other one is demon nuns are scary ASF.
Yeah.
Well, and they get worse too, right? The closer they get like fangs and red eyes or whatever, and oh man,
so creepy. Yeah.
All right.
It was scary.
Nice.
Yeah.
You've already. Or go ahead.
I'm sorry. Do you think that someone that maybe went to private Catholic school developed this character?
Well, it was James Wan who was the director.
Oh, really?
He created this. So I'm getting a little bit into the trivia, but I guess I'll just go ahead and say it because there's not much trivia on the movie, but we're here, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. All of the scenes featuring the nun were added during reshoots, replacing the original design of a dark demon with horns. This happened because director James Wan wished to expand the story of Lorraine Warren having her faith questioned. Therefore, he designed the demon to resemble a holy icon. The original design can be seen at the end of the climax when the demon is defeated.
Huh.
That's right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then
I will say when I was looking up facts about the movie as well,
the actual haunting.
The nun is an invention of James Wan, but it was based on conversations he had with Lorraine Warren about something that was haunting her house or that she had seen in her house as a spectral entity. So it had at least a tie to the actual people in real life.
Interesting.
So the Warrens have a ghostly nun walking around in their very 70s, floral wallpaper house.
Shag carpet.
Shag carpet.
Yeah.
That's how you keep spirits away because they get up too much static electricity and it zaps them out of existence. So they shuffle their feet too much, and then when they touch a doorknob, and they're gone.
It's like you have your own proton pack, for Ghostbusters. You just walking around, just shuffling your feet. That's amazing.
That's exactly how it works. That was the main reason. We had an exorcist during those years, and people got scared. So that's why shag carpet became a thing. It was to keep ghosts at bay.
That's a good idea.
Shag carpet, keeping the demons away since 1970.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
All right. V, do you have anything else you wanted to talk about real quick? And before I do my 5-word review?
Oh my God. I mean, I could go on about this movie, but no, I've seen it so many times. I love it. I love how they start off with them in Amityville because obviously they were well known for that, Ed and Lorraine. But yeah, I love it. I love the whole concept of it. So yeah, I want to know what your 5-word review is though.
Okay.
Yes. I don't, but I'll listen.
Oh, thanks. I only did one because I usually only do one. A scary mystery with exorcism.
Interesting.
Because this movie plays more of a mystery movie, like a Scooby-Doo mystery, than just a straight up haunting. Because, I mean, it's Ed and Lorraine don't even know if it's a real haunting until the very end.
Yes, and that was the trope. I loved how they manipulated that trope, right? Yeah. Not only that they didn't know it was for real, but the idea that the Valak was even holding this Bill hostage as a spirit I thought was brilliant.
Yeah.
Because you go throughout this entire thing thinking it's all Bill. Mm-hmm. And while he is creepy, and this must be a nasty old man ghost, but I love the fact that there was something bigger at play, and was even so big that it was blocking Lorraine from being able to see anything or feel anything.
And I loved the way that they discovered that it was, Valak and not Bill on the train, with the recordings. It's clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was neat. I mean, obviously it's made for Hollywood moment. That probably isn't how, it happened in real life. And it's obviously super convenient that they had, both recordings on two different reels of tape, and they had two different tape players. Obviously it doesn't work otherwise, but it was still a really cool moment. And I did capture audio clip that kind of realization when he plays the clips. It's very, very creepy and effective, and really it's really interesting to think that this demon has captured the spirit soul entity of Bill and is torturing him, that he's screaming through the child to get, he wants to leave. It's just really, pun intended, very haunting.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh, sorry, V, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say it's very accurate though, because demons are very manipulative, and they do that to spirits. They're very calculating. So, yeah.
So something that I would like to know.
Yeah.
Why? And maybe I just missed it somewhere. But why could at the end, when he's going up through the house, and he goes in the basement and then has to climb up through the house, why couldn't he get through the door? Or why couldn't he find a different way into the house?
Like a window?
I saw that there was like a couch in the way or something, but...
Well, that's right. Yeah, no, it was throwing things at all the openings of or at least the main level, as far as I could tell. Yeah. Like he couldn't get in those areas, but apparently it wasn't watching the basement swimming pool. Which, by the way, is probably one of the most unhealthy ways to live, is to have a flooded basement under your house.
Yeah, just stagnant water.
Oh my gosh!
I do have to ask. We have listeners in England. Like, I'm sure there's probably flooded basements in other parts of the world, but this was set in London. Is that a thing? Is that like, what are they called? Are they called flats? Apartments are called flats there, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that a thing where you have a basement that's got 3.5 feet of water all the time?
But even the houses, and not only just the main house that was haunted, but across the street that they ran to, they all look haunted. They're all dilapidated, right? They all look like they've been put up in a trash heap or something. It just, is that a thing? Paint the walls, for God's sake, people.
Well, correct me if I'm
wrong.
Put
down some shag carpet, for goodness sake.
When they originally went down, what's her name? Frances O'Connor. Mm-hmm. Ma Spector. When she originally went down into the basement with her, was it her neighbor?
Yeah. Her buddy. Yeah. Neighbor lady.
To wash clothes or whatever. It wasn't wet then, was it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No. Like, what? It wasn't that.
No?
Yeah, it was just like.
No, it wasn't a pool. Yeah, it was.
Oh, I thought it was flooded. I remember, because that's the first thing I thought was, oh my gosh, like she's got a pool down here. Okay.
No, the washing machine exploded, right?
Yeah.
I knew the pipe exploded.
And that started it, if I remember right.
See,
Yeah, because when you were asking if basements were just flooded in England, I thought, well, this isn't Venice. I don't
yeah. Well, it just
I don't think that's
it
the
was
case.
so flooded that it made me think that that was just the way that it was, not that pipe, that particular pipe did that, because I mean that basement would have had to that's so much water. It would have had to have been doing it for a long time. But also, I guess, things have been happening for a while before Ed and Lorraine show up. So it was going on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think, in fact, I read something in the trivia that it was like the first people that kind of came in to do the interviews and stuff, and they were trying to figure things out. It was like they were there like a year. I mean, this was a long time.
Those poor kids, for God's sake.
I don't understand that. A year? Get out of there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Stop it, white people.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just I don't know. I guess it's just the product of your circumstance, right? Like if you can't afford to just pack up and move,
and they pointed that out too. If they can't afford biscuits.
Biscuits, yeah.
They're going to have a hard time trying to find a new place to stay, which is why it was probably dilapidated too.
Well, and then she mentioned something about the one lady who was the girl from the Bourne Identity. She was the one that was saying like, they're applying for government housing or something. So, you know what? I went back and I'm literally watching that scene with the washing machine, and you're right, the basement isn't flooded, but for some reason it looked originally I thought that there was already water there. Uh-huh. I didn't realize that happened as a result of the leak. I honestly thought that she just lived in a house that constantly had 2.5 feet of water in it. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. I didn't take a lot of notes though on this movie because, well, this movie just kept freaking me out every time I got near my keyboard. So there wasn't a whole lot for me to, I did write like, why do creepy things always live in the basement? I did write, okay. So people in this movie can sleep really heavily. So the sister Janet, when she first has her moment where she wakes up and she's downstairs and then she walks back upstairs, like just that walking up the stairs, whatever, that wakes me up. I'm also a super light sleeper. But then then the boy goes downstairs and then the fire truck goes off. Uh-huh. Like that would have woken up my entire house.
Yeah.
And the fire truck goes off like 2 or 3 times. And I can't remember if the first night it was the second night with the scream from the tent, because oh my God, that scream gave me chills.
But is it I guess the question is it in the mind of the
I'm pretty sure
haunted? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think you're right. I think that scream was only heard by him, and then the mom goes out to investigate, and none of the girls. But the fact that he's screaming for his mom again would have woken up the rest of the house in this house. It felt like everyone was a heavy sleeper.
Yeah.
Unless the plot needed you to wake up, when she's talking.
Well, I mean, you're living in a house where people scream 24/7 for years. You get used to it, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So not to change subjects.
Yeah,
sorry.
Please.
But as I do, I tend to sift through the set photos while we talk. Photo 146 on IMDb.
All right.
There is a picture of Lauren Esposito with the Crooked Man, someone in a costume of the Crooked Man, and to me that's creepier than Yeah, that's creepier than what we got in the movie.
Oh yeah, that's terrifying. I know you're on your phone, so I'm going to send this to you through Twitter just so you can experience the nightmare that this thing is. Yeah, good Lord, that's terrifying. Yeah, if you would have put that dude, just have him walking around on set in the movie, that would have...
I mean, I'm sure that was probably used for the characters or for the actors to have something to
act on.
To act with, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's, to me, creepier than what we got.
Trying to find it. What number was it again?
140.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a 7-foot tall scarecrow. I mean, that's the stuff of nightmares.
Slender Man-ish.
A little bit, yeah.
Very, yeah.
To it.
Very.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Oof, geez. Okay. And Javier Botet bought it. I guess that's the dude. What is him?
He works with Motel 6 and he leaves the light on. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Let's see. Last few notes here. I'm going to try to cook through them. Let's see. The ghost isn't hiding anymore. Hold on, wait. The spirit is so pissed that he just keeps moving stuff. I did write that. And then the ghost is just moving stuff all over. Like it usually in movies, the ghost doesn't want other people to know.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, like this ghost just doesn't care. This ghost is just, moving stuff left and right.
Ooh, that picture is so freaky. I just got it.
Yeah, right?
I love it, though.
Again, it's non-CGI. So, again, it's, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
put that
I
in
heard
the shadows, and holy cow, that's scary.
I heard an interesting conversation, and honestly, I forget who it was that I was having this conversation with, but you think about how the actors react to something that's real and in person. The conversation that I was listening to was from an actor or a couple actors talking about, the difference between acting against a tennis ball like they did in the... Oh, maybe this was... Never mind. This was this show last week that I listened to. Sorry, you guys talked about it last week. I wasn't there. But it does prove I did listen. I just forgot who I was listening to.
That's amazing. Thank you for crediting us as someone you listened to.
Yeah. I was like, I know I heard this. But
Yeah.
I listened to like 7 different podcasts, so I knew that it had to be one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys talked about it last week about, the difference between people acting with a tennis ball and acting with a puppet or something right there in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it would have made a difference or if it would make a difference to the audience. I don't know.
I think it does make a difference. I mean, if that dude is, the one hiding in the tent when Ed is, he's looking at the little spinny toy and then he looks up and there's the face of Slender Man. I mean, if that face is what's staring you, that's going to be helpful to act against as, oh my gosh, it's a scare, it's a jump scare.
Mm-hmm. Were there any real jump scares in this for you guys?
Yeah, a couple for me.
There was a few, I can't remember distinctly, not like the match lighting in the first one on the stairs, but
the clap.
Yeah.
Behind her.
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm just trying to think back, and maybe there have been and I've just forgotten, but I don't think I've ever really had a true jump scare in a movie. Like that, to me, all this was very suspenseful and it was creepy, but nothing that happened ever made me like, gasp or jump or, grip the remote or whatever. Yeah. I just, it just kind of happened and I just let it happen.
I can't think of off the top of my head, but there was a couple. The first jump scare for me was the scream when the kid pushes the fire truck in and it comes back, but then it's just a scream. It doesn't say get out or whatever. It's just a blah, right? It's just so loud that got me really good. I mean, that one gave me chills and just, that one made me pucker up. And then there was another one though where it was again, for me, the jump scares were usually audible. Like it's an audio cue, not necessarily a visual cue.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the jump scares, just for the creepy factor, it's usually when there's something in the background. You know, like when the little boy is walking up the stairs and the camera just shows that the old man is in the chair, but the kid doesn't see it. Like the first time I saw that, like I got the goosebumps. I was like, oh, there's a dude in the chair. There's a guy in the chair. You know, like,
Well, yeah, like, yeah, I saw that, but I was.
yeah. I know that's not a jump scare. I know that's not.
I loved the effect when they turned away from her in the chair.
Yeah.
And it morphed in the blur, right? To Bill. Holy cow, that was
That was
an
thing.
amazing shot. Yeah, I loved how they did that.
Yeah, no, it was great. That was really great. By the way, I have to say it, but our Crooked Man is our Star Trek connection. He was in an episode of Star Trek Discovery. So,
Okay.
yeah, he's our Star Trek connection.
Nice.
He was also Slender Man in the movie Slender Man.
Well, then that makes sense.
It kind of does make sense.
That makes
Because he is a let's see, he's 6'8.5". So that's a big man. I mean, especially in Hollywood, you know, that's like legal giant size.
Yeah. And slender.
And well, yeah, that too. He's like I think I saw he was from Spain or something. He's like the Spanish version of Doug Jones. Doug Jones is the guy who was, he was the fish from the Lady in the Sex Fish movie.
Oh, yeah.
He was also the body of the fish man from Hellboy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fish coitus.
Yeah. Even though they used David Hyde Pierce for the vocals for that, he was the thing. Oh, we also saw him in, remember the End of the World zombie kind of movie with Dennis Quaid? They're at the little restaurant or the gas station in the middle of nowhere, and all the zombies come because God's pissed off and he sends.
Was that Dennis Quaid?
Yeah, Dennis Quaid
and Jarvis.
Yeah, Jarvis is the good angel, and the guy that played the Blob from X-Men is the bad angel. I can't think of anyone's actual name. This is terrible.
That's why.
Anyway, he was the first.
We do our research.
He was the first zombie man that showed up with the long. When he screamed, like his face got really long. That's Doug Jones. Anyway,
Yeah.
Sorry. Last couple notes before I do a few clips. I didn't capture much. Let's see. He painted. I thought it was interesting. It showed in his office some of his paintings. One of the paintings was from The Conjuring 1, and it's basically the movie poster. You know, it shows the house with the tree and the noose. Weird side story. Why? So I worked at Clemson University for about a year, and the year before I'd gotten there, they were doing they have a movie theater in the building that I managed, and they were doing a series of Halloween movies for the movie theater, and The Conjuring was one of the movies they'd picked, and a group of people were very upset at the movie poster, and signed a petition to have the movie poster removed because it had a noose.
Oh, dear.
And it was just because of timing. I know that sounds like people are being hyper sensitive, but it was also at the time at Clemson, literally within 3 months earlier, there had been some supremacist kind of actions happening on campus, demonstrations, and there were some actual nooses found on campus. Yeah, it was a pretty bad situation. So there was some other things that happened there. Clemson's had kind of a weird has had a weird history the last 5 or 6 years with race relations and stuff. But anyway, it was... I just remember when I got there and we were talking about movies, you know, and I said, who gets to pick the movies? And they said, oh, it's this group of people here. And then they told me about the story about The Conjuring. I just thought that was interesting. So when we reviewed it for the podcast, as I'm looking at the poster, all I could think about was that story they told me about Clemson. Let's see. I was a little freaked out until bad CGI Cricket Man. I did like it that the guy who sings in the Phantom of the Opera, they found a way to get him to sing in this movie. Patrick Wilson has a lovely singing voice. And then I also liked how I thought it was interesting that the hot water sprayed him and blinded him, made him visy. That's not a word. Made his vision fuzzy.
Last time Sean went to the optometrist, he said, "Hey doc, I'm very visy right now. I need some help."
I'm very visy. I need you to fix it. But also that somehow it also affected his hearing because everything was muted. I thought that was interesting. I mean, it also made it very effective as the viewer because it's so disorienting when as the viewer we want to see everything and the movie's not letting you. Oh, it's so disorienting as a movie, as the audience.
Well, that's just like the darn Resident Evil video games and things like that, right? There's only, they make it in such a way that the angles, you can't see down the hallway or you can't see around that corner as well as you should.
Yeah. Anything else? V, as you said, you can go for hours. Here's a good, before I play the few clips, anything else you want to say?
Oh my God. I mean, I have a lot, but I don't know. That scene that you were talking about with the kid and, the fire truck coming out and everything. My cousin has, her son had the same tent. She was having problems with a little boy, like a little child spirit in her son's room, in my nephew's room. And I told her to go over and check it out, investigate and stuff like that. And yeah, it was, we just captured something in that tent. It was
oh my gosh.
Creepy. Yeah. So that part always reminds me of that time that happened. So
do you think kids are more prone to not being exposed to these types of things, but just sensing it or seeing it than adults?
I do. I mean, it started happening with me. And again, it's if you haven't heard my podcast, just growing up like that, it's really with children because I believe they're more innocent, and just pure. And I think that light shines very bright and things are just attracted to it, So not all of it is bad, but for the most part, yeah, I do think kids are really sensitive. So, yeah.
That's their shining is stronger.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Not to put either one of you on docs here. I'm just asking the question. Have either one of you had one of your kids say, "Hey, there's someone else here in the room," or anything like that before?
Oh yeah. I've had Lucy a few times. There's I turn on my closet light. There's something in there, but it's sometimes you just chalk it up. I guess you just chalk it up to kids' imaginations. But who knows? It's creepier when the dog acts like something's there.
Yeah.
Or it feels like the dog knows something is going on in a part of the house, and you can't quite figure out what she's focusing on. So, yeah,
I agree. I think the animals are creepier than the kids.
Yeah. It's I always just, ever since seeing Constantine, when Keanu Reeves says, "Well, cats are halfway in, halfway out."
Yeah, half
anyway,
in.
So when the cat's just sitting there on the couch and then she perks her ears up and starts staring at the ceiling, it's like, all I can is I really hope there's a bug up there that she's seeing because, So the one time that my daughter has never said anything like that, but my son did when we were visiting my brother and sister-in-law, and he's it's time to go to bed, and he comes out and says, "Daddy, I need you to come talk to you." And he's 5 maybe or 4, and I go, "Okay, so what's going on?" And he says, "There's a ghost in here, and he's keeping me from going to sleep." And so, in the moment, I decided that I'm not going to just say it's not real, it's not your imagination. So I said, well, okay, well, why is he in here? And he says, Declan, my son says he's hungry. And I said,
Oh,
okay, well, why don't you tell him to go to the kitchen where the food is and to leave you alone because you need to go to sleep. And so my son says this thing out loud. And then I said, what happened? And he said, I don't see it anymore. And I said, okay. And so he went to sleep. So and he's never said anything like that ever since. So I don't know, again, if he actually saw a thing or if it was his imagination, but it helped him go to sleep, and that's kind of what mattered in the moment.
that's all that matters.
So, and I've asked him about it, if he remembers it, and he says he does. So
Wow.
he remembers the conversation. I don't know if he remembers seeing something. I don't know. I'll have to ask him tomorrow. Anyway, that's it. Time for a few clips. So again, this movie is a lot of screaming, and there's a lot of just heavy breathing and just screaming. So I didn't get a lot of clips. So here's one.
Well, there's nothing we can do about that.
We can file an incident report and we'll stand by it if anyone asks, but that's about all.
A report?
I love that. Just the cops are just so freaked out because the chair moved, and they're like, "Well, we'll file a report."
Yes. See you bye.
Yeah. And you can obviously tell they're English cops, because an American cop would have just shot the chair, right? Sorry, I'm joking. American cops, you guys are fine. But again, the 70s, so who knows? Maybe that's. This movie only had, in my opinion, 2 jokes. This is one of the jokes.
My ex-husband bought all the furniture with the house when we moved in.
If you don't mind me asking, is your ex-husband still in the picture?
No.
I'm sorry to hear that. Any chance of reconciliation?
He had twins with a woman from round the corner.
So I'm going to take that as a no.
Yeah.
Poor lady.
Yeah. Gosh, yeah. No kidding. Has 4 with him, and then, yeah, I think that the law needs to get a little. She needs to call the police and say, "Hey, by the way, go tell my ex-husband that he needs to pay." She called it something else. We call it child support. They called it child maintenance. I think that was the phrase she used, child maintenance, which makes it sound like the kid needs an oil change or something. But all right, here's the other joke.
Come on. How bad can it be? Bloody hell.
There you go. It's just funny hearing an American say bloody hell. All right, here's the clip of the tape where they do the thing where you go back and forth. This is a little creepy sounding, so if this kind of stuff bothers you, this is your warning. So there you go.
Oh, please, it won't let me go. Help me, it won't let me go.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Time for this.
Well,
now for some more bad news.
Ready?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Sam. You're good.
I was kidding. It's scary to me that this entity, this demon, could trap a spirit and not let it pass or not let it go.
Yeah.
That's scary to me, right? That there is something that is controlling from beyond like that could literally trap somebody.
It happens in like asylums and old prisons and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I only have 2 pieces of trivia since I read one of them already. On the first day of shooting, a priest was brought in to bless the set.
Okay.
So I like that. Because you hear all these stories, like from The Exorcist specifically, like all these terrible things that happened while they were on set. And it's just, you're like, all right, the director takes this stuff seriously enough that he's like, we're going to take some legit precautions. The other bit of trivia, which Sam won't believe because it's Sam, is that the girl Janet is not British. She's from Louisiana. She's doing an
Really?
accent.
That's not bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Nailed it, Janet.
She did. Inner Planet Janet. So, all right, time for this.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
We're going to do top 3 movie demons. Movies that have demons in them or demons in the movies. Not Matt Damon, but demons. Movie demons.
Oh, dang it. I
Yeah.
need to redo my list.
Sam, why don't you go first?
All right. I've got a number 3 as Hellboy.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, yeah.
From Hellboy.
Yeah, he really is.
And then I go into the category of these things scare me half to death. And my number 2 is Azazel from Fallen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? The one, what? I can't remember what the distance was, right? But there was a certain distance you had to be. Anyway, that's a creepy movie. But my number 1 has to be Pazuzu from The Exorcist.
Okay.
And probably the movie that scares, a horror movie that has stuck with me ever since watching it. So, yeah.
All right. V?
Well, my third one would be Veronica. It's like a horror film from Spain. Really scary. Yeah, it's really good. The second one would be the Amityville Horror.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. The first one would be Poltergeist 2. So the Reverend Kane, he still scares me to this day. Yeah, I love that.
I've not seen the actually, I don't think I've seen all of the first one, and I know I've not seen the second one.
Yeah, they're good.
Well, we'll do that one next year, and you can come back on.
Okay.
All right. I will go next, and then I will remember Andrew. I promise.
We'll see.
We'll see. My honorable mention is Spawn.
Yeah.
Movie Spawn. Number 3 is Evil Ash from Army of Darkness.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of a stretch. I don't care. Number 2 is Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves. Now, I know that Al Pacino is the devil, but all of the ladies in that movie are demons.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies.
Yes, and a lot of them get naked. So there's a lot of naked in that movie. And my number 1 is Constantine, because I love Constantine, and that movie's great, and it makes me happy. So Constantine. See, like that to me, that's as close to as a horror movie that's comfort I will get is Constantine. I don't think I will ever watch this movie again unless someone forces me to, for like another podcast or something, or if yeah. There you go, Andrew.
All right, I have the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters.
Wasn't that a form of something though? Like, I mean, it's a demon, but I can't remember the name of the demon they called it. It's a form of.
Yeah. Somebody, the Destroyer, is going to come and kill you. Just
yeah. And then I have the 7 demons from Shazam.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's right.
Shazam?
I haven't seen Shazam yet. No.
Really, you would like Shazam.
I know.
I know it's a DC movie, but you would actually.
I know. Again, it's just let's watch it for the podcast. That gives me an excuse to watch it.
You would have a lot of fun with it. Actually.
Okay. Yeah. And I love the actor.
Yeah. And then number 1, I've got Beetlejuice.
Oh, nice. I thought he's a ghost. He's not a demon. He's a ghost.
Is he?
I mean, he's literally says, "I'm the ghost with the most," but.
Okay, well, I have more in case.
Oh.
Because I didn't know if that would count. So I have the little demons from Hercules.
There you go.
Nice.
Pain and...
Panic?
Panic, yeah. Those are good. Those definitely work.
And if you want a real horror movie, I guess you could call it, which again didn't really do anything for me. Chucky and Child's Play.
Oh yeah.
Do anybody find those movies scary? It's a doll. Just kick it.
No. Yeah.
No.
I do like that it's used as a weapon in Ready Player One, though.
It's effing Chucky. Yeah. No, that's true. That's a good one. The only Twitter contribution we have is once again from Jesse. Jesse is always on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
The Golgothan from Dogma. The Devil from Tenacious D, the Pick of Destiny, and the Balrog from Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those work. I think those are good. And that's it. Okay, time for this now.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
This is where we give this movie. I seriously, Andrew, just for a half a second paused and thought, wait, did he go yet? Okay.
I love that I'm in your head now.
You are. You're living rent-free in my noggin. Literally, Cameron just chimed in. Tim Curry in Legend? Tim Curry is in Legend? Okay. I didn't know he was in Legend. I didn't know that was Tim Curry. Okay. Now I'm
You keep reading, I'm looking.
Yeah, you look it up. Tim Curry in Legend, Hellboy, and that freaky bull in The Last Unicorn.
I've never seen The Last Unicorn.
I haven't either.
Yeah, that is Tim Curry as Darkness in Legend.
Oh, cool. That's like got a really young Tom Cruise or something, doesn't it? Right?
Yeah, really young Tom Cruise and Mia Sara from one of those NCIS, one of those crime shows, right?
Oh, sure. I don't know.
Yeah,
if you say so. Mia Sara. Let's see. What is she from? I don't know. She's not in NCIS.
Crime show. Maybe I'm confusing her with somebody else.
Oh, who knows? I don't know.
She was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, okay. She looks like Ziva from NCIS. You're not wrong.
Maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it could be. All right. So top 3. I already played the clip, right? Yeah. Oh, out of 10. That's where we are. We're out of 10.
Yeah.
We give this movie a score. Andrew goes first.
IMDb puts it at what, 7 point something? That's pretty high, I think.
7.3,
but I glanced at it.
Yeah, 7.3. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm right there with it. Like it's a good movie. I don't remember what I gave The Conjuring 1. If I was even on the show then. I've slept since then. Pretty sure I was because I remember watching it.
You gave it a 7. You gave it a 7.307.
Yeah. So I feel comfortable with that. 7.307.
You're going to just give it again? All right.
No, can't do that. No, I'm going to drop the 07 because of the Crooked Man.
All right, so 7.3?
7.3.
All right. That's cool. I think that's very fair. V?
I'd give it the same score, like a 7.5.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still blown away that you've seen this movie 20 times. It still blows me away. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, and Sam.
I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one. I'm not sure exactly what I ranked the first one.
I will tell you if you want to.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I don't.
But it's not going to be too much less. I'm guessing it was probably a 7 something.
You said 7.93.
Yeah, this one's a 7.56.
Okay,
so it's a good one. Again, I'd recommend it as a great little horror movie.
There was a piece of trivia that I didn't write down that I thought was interesting. Is that in 2015, James Wan, that's the director, right? James Wan. He was offered a life-changing amount of money, is I think the quote he used, to direct what would have been the next Fast and the Furious movie, and he turned it down to do this movie because he said this is what he wants to do, and this invigorates him to do these types of movies. So
Yeah.
I think that's
well, you got a passion. You got to go for it.
Yeah, do what you want. Forget about it.
Man.
You know, he's gonna make his money. He's gonna, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
So, listener, you can't see us, of course, because we don't do any video. But in the back of Sean's room, there's a pillowcase, and it's been waving now for the past few minutes, and I've gotten creeped out. I'm just.
Oh, the air vent is blowing right on it, and part of the fabric is
keep
moving.
telling yourself, whatever makes you feel better, buddy. Yeah.
Oh man, you had me going there for a second too. I was like, "Wait, is it really moving?" But yeah, it's moving. You see it right there, right there. Yeah, that's great. I'm gonna give this one. This is a good movie. This is a good scary kind of thing, and it did all the things that a scary movie is supposed to do. And again, we liked the first one that we did. We liked it a lot. It averaged at a 7.62 for us. I gave it a 7.65. I think this movie is a little bit under that. So I too am just going to give it a 7.3. I'm going to go right with IMDb with an average score of 7.415. I think that's very fair. And this is a good scary movie, and I'm glad that we did it, and I never want to watch it again because that nun.
Have you seen the others, the Conjuring movies? I assume you have.
I haven't seen
Really?
It's The Devil Within or something. I think that's the most recent one. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Do the other ones that you have seen, do they rank up with this one or these first two?
the first two, I love the first one too. I really do, because it's in a different, I love that both of these, movies are based on, an actual, real family and haunting, so I've heard I heard part 3 is really good. So
yeah, it's called,
that's true.
It's called The Devil Made Me Do It. It came out this year. It's got a 6.3 on IMDb. It's not as
good.
Not as good
Is that the third one?
Yeah, that's the third one. The Warrens investigate a murder that may be linked to a demonic possession. And the poster says the demonic case that shocked America.
Yeah.
I thought maybe there were more.
It's got, there's a bunch of offshoots, right? So there's like 3 movies of Annabelle, the doll, that's in the case.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So Annabelle has like her own trilogy, and The Nun, there are 2 of The Nun.
Yeah.
I think it's literally called The Nun.
Mm-hmm.
John Noble is in the new one. John Noble, he's from Fringe. He's the steward of Gondor in the 3rd Lord of the Rings movie that he goes crazy.
Yeah.
He's a really good bad guy in a lot of things, so he's really creepy.
Yeah, Noble.
Yeah. But it's not directed by, this 3rd one's not directed by Mr. Wan. That's interesting. A different dude directed it. James Wan. What is he working on right now? He did direct he did Furious 7. Okay, so he did do a Furious 7. He also directed Aquaman.
Well, I will say his scene with the Murlocs that was straight up horror.
That was
awesome.
pretty horror-ish. You're not wrong. I forgot he did the first Saw movie. It's the same dude. I keep forgetting that. Yeah, he does Saw 1, then Dead Silence, Death Sentence, Insidious, The Conjuring, Insidious 2, Furious 7, The Conjuring 2, an episode of MacGyver, the new MacGyver, Aquaman, Malignant, which everyone's talking about on Twitter. He's doing something now called Archive 81 and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. He's currently filming that one right now. What is this? Archive 81. Oh, that's interesting. An archivist hired to restore a collection of tapes finds himself reconstructing the work of a filmmaker and her investigation into a dangerous cult. It's a TV series. All right. Well, it sounds like something Sam will watch, and I never will. All right. That's our show, nice. Right? That's kind of everything, I think. Oh, I have the quote game I need to do. So while I prepare the quote game, because of course I didn't do it ahead of time, V, why don't you tell our listeners where they can find more of you?
Okay. Well, if you want to, interact with me on social media, you can go to, if you have a Twitter, my Twitter handle is @Life Paranormal. My show, of course, is Life Paranormal with V. You can find me on all streaming podcast platforms. I guess everywhere you can get your podcast from, I'm on. Yeah. If you like what we talked about here, then just go on and listen to my show. I have a lot of guests. We talk about, our firsthand experiences and encounters. So it's all about the paranormal unexplained. So it's not just with spirits. We talk UFOs. Well, that's coming too. I'm doing a whole segment on that pretty soon.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. It's nice to meet you. I wasn't on the show last time that you were here with us, and so.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
That's
true. I couldn't remember who wasn't here, so it was you, Andrew. All right, our quote game. I'm supposed to play a clip, right? I'll play this one.
That's gross.
There you go.
I keep hoping for the Power Ranger. I feel like a Power Ranger.
I don't have that anymore.
You don't have that anymore?
No, so there's about 30 episodes worth. Did you say I'm fired? There's about 30 episodes that are lost forever when the computer that I used before this one to record, when it died, that was about 3 years ago. When it died, the hard drive crashed on it. Some of the stuff I could recover, like photos, but I couldn't recover all of the audio clips. So, yeah, if we want to,
Zombievers.
Yeah, we're gonna have to rewatch Zombievers if you want me to capture. I feel like a Power Ranger. Oh my gosh! The only good thing to come out of that movie, really.
Yeah.
So last week's quote game was, "You want the truth, you can't handle the truth." So that's last week's quote game. This week's quote is, "Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me, aren't you?" So, what do you do with this game? Well, you simply message me and say, "Hey, that quote is from a movie," and tell me what that movie is. And if you're right, I will pick someone of all the people that submit their entries, because we have so many. I will mail you a sticker. See, V has a sticker at her house. She knows that I will do it. So she has several stickers. I made sure that her and her husband could have some stickers because her husband's on kid duty while she's recording with us. So,
and we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Husbands on
we all understand.
Yeah, we do. That's it. That's our show. This was a lot of fun.
What are we doing next week?
Next week we are going to do part 2 of our 2-part series with Measuring the Score, and we're going to be watching Halloween Kills. So,
okay.
Halloween.
Do I need
Kills.
to watch the first Halloween before I watch Halloween Kills?
Probably should.
Yeah, yeah. You need to watch at least Halloween the 2018. Have you not seen the first one? The first one,
like the original 1978.
Yeah.
No.
Oh wow.
I've seen Halloween H2O, which maybe that's why I hated that one.
You got some movies to watch. You got some homework to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should at the very least watch the 2018 Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the Halloween Kills is a direct sequel for that, but yeah, you should definitely at least watch that. I think.
Okay.
So when you go visit your family this weekend, just all you and the kids just huddle around and watch. I'm joking. I'm totally joking. Don't do that. But make your wife watch it because she made us watch a bad movie a long time ago.
She did.
That is true.
Wasn't she the one that made us watch The Curse of Sleeping Beauty?
Yes.
All right. Well, she deserves that.
Yeah, she's been banned from recommending movies. Final Girl and Curse of Sleeping Beauty. Those were both hers.
No, I thought it was Final Girl. Curse of Sleeping Beauty was one of my coworkers. Anyway, not the point. Okay. the point is that that's our show. Thank you so much for listening. I'm very excited. Again, V, thank you so much for coming on. This was great.
Thank you. It was fun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We'll have you back on again in the future for something. Maybe we'll do something 100% not in your wheelhouse. We'll do something like
we'll do a comedy.
Yeah, like a rom-com.
A lighthearted comedy. Yeah.
Hey, I love it. I love movies, so let's do it.
It'll be fun. In the meantime, our website, cheapseatreviews.libsyn.com, where you can go there and find links to all of our social media, as well as all of our old episodes, all 360 something of them. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Please, seriously though, please leave V a review on iTunes, Life Paranormal with V, and then while you're on iTunes, leave us a review. That would be awesome. Just do listen to this. While you're listening to this, use your phone right now. Just pull out a review and say, these guys are funny. Thanks, whatever. Just reviews help us, climb the rankings, so that means that people can listen to us. And
then click that share button and tell other people about us.
Absolutely. If you do like the show, please share it with others. That would be super awesome. I'm saddened to say that in our world ranking, we've dropped back into the 100,000 range. So
what about in Colombia though, or Venezuela? Where was it?
Cruel world.
I don't remember where it was. It was some random country like that. We've dropped out of theirs.
As long as we're still number 5 in Ecuador, I'm good with it.
Ecuador. No, we're not.
Right up there with chilaquiles at dinner time.
Portugal is
number 5 with Earl.
Right now, we're number 69 of film reviews podcasts in Portugal, and we are the number 60th podcast under film reviews in Saudi Arabia.
There you go.
This is a new one. We're 3,155 in all podcasts in Brazil.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
If anything, give us a follow to look at the artwork I do every week.
Oh yeah. No, seriously, that's like one of the
this week's
best.
was very impressive there.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was fun.
It was good. It was very good. All right, that's it. That's the show. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week for Halloween Kills.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.